Welcome to Tristen Movie Review. Today we will be talking about one of my favorite films of this year, Avengers Endgame. Now, let's jump right into it. Avengers Endgame is the 22nd film in the ongoing Marvel Cinematic Universe series. It grossed $2.79 billion and starred these actors. Robert Downey Jr. plays Iron Man, the very first hero that they made a movie for in the cinematic universe. He's also played such roles as Sherlock and Sherlock Holmes.
It was nice to see you, Watson.
And he'll be playing Dr. Dolittle in the upcoming film Dr. Dolittle. Another actor I'd like to talk about is Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, the first Avenger. He also was Casey Jones in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2001 animated film. He'll also be in a movie called Knives Out. Another actor I'd like to talk about is Benedict Cumberbatch, who's played such characters as Smaug in The Hobbit. He also played the Grinch in the new Grinch feature, and he also plays Doctor Strange in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Next, I'd like to talk about Anthony and Joe Russo, who have directed some of my personal favorite Marvel movies, such as Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity War. The person I'd like to talk about is Kevin Feige, who is an avid fan of Marvel and all things relating to such. He has produced every film from even when he wasn't ahead of his game up top in where he is now. He was all about Marvel, and he helped produce and make the films come to life. This was Robert Downey Jr.'s 11th year playing Iron Man. I think that it was a perfect way to send the character out with a big old bang, and what a fantastic plot from the comics that they established and remolded into a fantastic film. I absolutely loved the entire movie of Avengers Endgame, but my absolute favorite scene was from the beginning of the battle all the way to the very end of the movie. I thought that it was just absolutely fantastic, and how they established these characters over an 11-year span, and how they tied every single little piece of yarn together was just absolutely incredible. And that's something that you don't see any time, really. And I just thought it was fantastic. Next thing I want to talk about is the new Captain America TV show, the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. I am super hyped about it, honestly. So Baron Zemo is going to be the villain throughout the arc of the series, and Baron Zemo is my definitely favorite villain of all the Marvel characters in the entire thing. How his family arc spreads and how their hatred of Captain America goes. I just think it's an absolutely fantastic arc, and I can't wait to see it brought to the screen. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was how this film was ever so slightly beat Avatar out of the top films of all time, and how it beat its grossing, which I thought was absolutely incredible. And just a complete level setter for all those people that say the Marvel movies and comic book movies aren't real movies. They definitely are. It's all an art form, and art is subjective. I want to share some fun facts about this film and other Marvel production with you. Something I thought was really interesting was the line "I love you 3000" was something that was said to Robert Downey Jr. by one of his actual kids. And then when he told that story to Anthony and Joe, they loved that line so much that they incorporated it into the story. Another thing that I thought was really interesting was how this was the first time that the classic line, "Avengers Assemble," was actually said in the MCU, because they teased it a couple times, like with Age of Ultron and other films like such, but this was the first time that was actually said on screen by an actual Avenger, which I think was super cool. You probably already know, Tom Holland is absolutely horrible at keeping secrets. So what they did when they were actually filming the feature was they told Tom Holland they were filming a wedding when they were actually filming his funeral. The last piece of trivia I have for you today is I want to talk to you about a very special person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe history. His name is Kevin Feige. He is one of the founding members of the Marvel movies. He's just been always a big fan of Marvel and the comics, and then when he grew up, he wanted to work with that, and he eventually became the CEO. But when he first started out, he was just a coffee boy, and he ran around, and no one particularly cared for him, but he worked his way up, and you know what? He grew to the top. So I just think that's an incredible story right there on its own. My favorite scene in the film was probably the end battle scene when all the Avengers are lining up, and they all charge right at Thanos, and the big charging scene happens as Cap wields Mjolnir into battle and yells the classic line of Avengers Assemble. That scene always brings goosebumps to my body whenever I see it. As for my favorite character in the movie, I'm going to be completely honest, it's probably, of the villains, Ebony Maw is one of my favorite Marvel villains in general. I just think his power is really cool and that he's a interesting character in general. As for my favorite character and or hero of this, I'd probably go with either Bucky or Ant-Man. Those two I just think are really fun characters that have a lot of deep plot development. The last thing that I want to say is thank you very much to Stan Lee. He passed away, it's hard to believe, a little more than a year ago, and it's weird not to see him in his own movies that he established and created and formed with his own sweat and blood. And I just want to say a big old thank you to Stan for being such an awesome guy in general. As for a rating on this movie, I'd give it a straight up 10 out of 10 on the stars. Alright, I think that's about it. So, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.